In tonight's video, I want to look at a couple markets, the euro, the dollar, and the gold market, and lay out what I think is probably going to transpire, and then show you what traders are going to do to sabotage themselves in the gold market. So anyway, let's start off where I'm going to look at the euro. I'm pretty sure this is a larger degree intermediate cycle low and probably a yearly cycle low. So those tend to, they almost always, even in a bear market, they almost always rally more than one daily cycle. So I do think this daily cycle's topped and the euro is working its way down into a daily cycle low. But this cycle is right translated, which means that there's very little chance of this moving below this low here. We'll find a bottom here at some point soon, and then we'll have another leg up. I mentioned before that during the advancing phase of an intermediate cycle, and it doesn't matter what it is, it can be currencies, stocks, gold, whatever. The RSI, and I like to use the 5-day RSI for a full daily cycle low, usually bounces pretty quickly after reaching oversold. So you can see we're just starting to tag the oversold levels here. So we probably got a little bit further to go before the euro finds its cycle bottom and then starts the next rally. But we shouldn't really expect the RSI to spend very much time in the oversold condition down here. This is the buy zone. Once this gets oversold, it shouldn't stay there very long, and then the next leg up should start. So I'm going to say we're probably halfway or more than halfway through this daily cycle decline already. And so the exact opposite holds true for an asset that is in the declining phase of a larger intermediate cycle. Price tends to roll over and begin another leg down pretty quickly once the RSI gets overbought. So we're not there yet. So we've probably got some more to go in the dollar rally before this is done, and then we roll over and make another leg down. My thought is that we're probably looking at a head and shoulders top here. So I would say somewhere between 101.5 and 102, we're likely to get a top in the dollar, and then start the next leg down in this larger intermediate degree decline. And I really don't expect this decline to bottom until either late March or early to mid-April, before the dollar finds that final intermediate cycle low. We need sentiment to get to bearish extremes in the currencies, and they haven't done that in the dollar anyway. It hasn't generated a bearish extreme in almost 2 years. And that's why I don't believe this was a multi-year cycle low here like some people are suggesting. Sentiment just was nowhere near the kind of bearish extremes that are generated at a multi-year cycle bottom right here. We were barely even 40% bulls, and at a multi-year cycle low that should be 25% bulls or less. So this just didn't qualify sentiment-wise as a multi-year cycle low. But we've got one due sometime this year, so I don't expect this to go too much further, and then we're going to have another leg down. So this is the gold market, and again, this applies to gold just like it does any other asset during a move into a daily cycle low. The RSI should get oversold. You can see we're not there yet, so the gold has further to go. But once we move into an oversold condition here, it shouldn't stay there for very long before it bounces, and then we start the next leg up. So I'm gonna tell you exactly how traders sabotage their chances of profiting in a bull market, and I've gone over this before, but I'm going to show you what they do during a daily cycle correction. So as we saw, a lot of people buying up here at the top, which is fine as long as you don't sell at the bottom of the correction. As long as you understand that this is going to be a stair-stepping up process, then it doesn't matter where you buy. You can buy anywhere. But that's not what most people do. They buy the breakout right here, and then they're going to sell into the correction. So we can expect at some point during this correction, most likely it's going to come when gold breaks this trend line. That is one thing that technical traders, they sell these trend line breaks. That's one of the things that causes the cycle to bottom. That when a trend line breaks and everybody sells, then that's when you run out of sellers, and that's when you put in your bottom and you turn and head back up. So gold should break this trend line. It should drop long enough for this 5-day RSI to move into the oversold conditions. The people, the traders that bought this breakout, most of them are going to sell into this correction instead of holding. That's if you're going to buy breakouts, then you've got to hold through the corrections and wait for the next leg up. There is going to be another leg up. So buying breakouts is fine. Selling corrections is not. Now, what is typically going to happen is you've got the people that bought the breakout. They're going to sell the correction. You've got the people that have missed most of this move, if not all of it, waiting for a dip to buy. They are going to buy too early. They're probably going to buy, like they either bought today or they're going to buy tomorrow, and then the market is not going to turn around and go right back up like they were expecting. It's going to keep going down, and it'll break the trend line, and then they will get knocked out. And then when they get knocked out for a loss, they won't be able to buy back until we get another breakout. So you see the pattern. You either buy breakouts and sell corrections, or you miss rallies and then you buy too quickly into corrections, and then you get knocked out at the bottom of the correction, and it just prevents you from riding the move up. So this I've seen this happen over and over and over for 15 years. Never changes. Human behavior never changes. This is why markets move in the fashion that they do. So be patient. Wait till this trend line breaks. Wait till the RSI gets oversold before you try to buy this dip. But this dip will bottom. This is an extremely right translated cycle. Gold is not going back below this low. It'll bottom here at some point after breaking the trend line. Then we're going to get another leg up. The next leg up is going to go above 1300.